This is a very easy conversation. These are the easiest conversations. So you're at your current brokerage, your broker, you have $300,000 GCI. On average, you're probably giving your broker about $45,000 a year. That's if you don't have a franchise fee. Now, if you have a franchise fee, there's an additional 6% on top of that. So make sure you add that in. But even without the franchise fee, you're giving your broker $255,000. Now, if we compare that to lane one in the EXP model, and we just did a side-by-side comparison of these two things, we have 300,000 GCI, $21,000 in cost of sale between your cap and the $5,000 transaction fee. So you have a total cost. So you have a total net of 275 versus 2255. You have a $24,000 gain. Now, one of the questions that I ask every single real estate agent when I'm meeting with them is, Monica, how much longer do you see yourself doing this? And the average real estate agent is going to answer somewhere between 10 and 20 years, by the way. And a lot of them don't even know what the answer is because they have no idea when they're going to stop because they really can't afford to stop. But let's just say it's 10 years. So that change is not that big of a deal 1 year to 1 year, but over 10 years, it's a $240,000 increase. It's huge. Now, if you looked at this conversation from another logical conversation, if you were going to buy a home or rent a home, which would you choose? Don't forget, you're a real estate agent. Okay. So the answer has to be, well, of course I'm going to buy a home. Well, what's interesting about that is over here, you're actually renting your real estate business. Now you're paying $45,000 to do that. So over 10 years, you've paid $450,000 in rent. Now at the end of that 10-year period, you have zero equity. Over here, you've gained $240,000 just in lane one. We're not even at lane two yet. So you've got $240,000 in increased equity in a home that you own because you're building a business you own here versus renting space, trading time for money, chasing dollars as a real estate technician. Now, what's also awesome about anybody who's doing this kind of production is lane two is just a no-brainer for them. You're earning stocks when you close your first sale, when you cap, when you attract an agent to the company, and you're getting this $16,000 cap back in stock because you're an icon agent. So you're at $17,000 a year in EXP stock. Over 10 years, that's $170,000. So now we're going to add $170,000 to 240. You've got a gain here over here of $410,000. Making a pretty good logical argument for why EXP would be where you would choose to build a business you own. So you can either rent your home for the next 10 years, have zero equity in it, or you could buy a home in 10 years from now, have $410,000 in equity. Here, I'll do it, Hank. How many of you would buy a house today knowing that the house would increase in value by $410,000 over the next 10 years? Raise your hand if that's you, right? Every single one of you. Now ask your real estate friends that are closing more than 30 sales with Coldwell Banker, Keller Williams, Century 21, Remax, any of those companies. What would you do? If you had an opportunity to buy a home today and you knew it was going to be worth $410,000 more 10 years from now, what would you do? Every single one of them would say, I'd buy the house. That's interesting because you're renting your real estate business. When I've just proven to you that your real estate business could be worth $410,000 more 10 years from now than what you're currently doing. And by the way,
John, just in case you were done with your lesson, close us on emotion now.
Yeah. So I didn't even bring revenue sharing to the conversation. I could, and we'll save that for another week. But the whole idea behind revenue share is I don't want to be a recruiter. Big deal. You're going to have 5 people who are going to follow you because you're talent. You could build a big revenue share organization through 5 people. Now we'll go deep.
No, John, go back to the rev share. Is everybody okay just letting him finish the whole way through? Because I'm more than okay. This is super critical. Okay.
So revenue share is where Glenn Sanford basically made the deal with all of us. He'll make the same deal with you. And here's the deal. He told us if we would build a real estate business on the EXP platform. Super important. Make sure you guys get those words, okay? We're not recruiting agents to EXP. I keep telling people when I'm meeting with them, eventually I'm going to get in trouble for this. And I know Monica's on the call, so this is probably going to be the day. I don't really care about EXP. This conversation's not about EXP. I could give a damn. I am building a real estate business on the EXP platform, not under the platform, simply because it's the best platform in the entire industry for me to build a business nationwide without any limitations. I could go globally and I could build this thing as big as I can freaking build it without any limitations. So we are building a business on the EXP platform. Now, when you do that, even if you don't want to do it, you're going to do it anyways because people are going to follow you. So let's say you have 5 people follow you. One of them turns out to be a leader. The leader is somebody who gets it and wants to build big. So that leader attracts 5 people to their first level and 15 or 10 people to their second level. And you have onesies and twosies over here. But without a whole lot of effort, you just built a rev share organization of 24 agents with an average return of $600, which is $14,400 a year. Even if you never built this any bigger, 10 years from now, you're walking away from real estate with an additional $400,000 in equity in your business that you own, plus a passive income stream that will last the rest of your life of $14,400 a year. Now, what would you do, Rich? This is the emotional part. What would you do that you're currently not doing because you don't have the money? Who would you help? Would you buy an investment home? Would you buy a vacation home? If you live in the mountains in North Carolina, would you buy a beach home in Florida? If you did, how often would you go there? Who would you take? What would you do? Where would you take your family? Would you take your family on cruises? What experiences would you be having? What life experiences would you be having? Who could you help? How many thousands of people could you help? 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. And what would that do for you? How would that make you feel? Now, you could choose. So using emotion, understanding that loss aversion means that we are more motivated by avoiding loss than we are going towards gain. So I just painted this emotional picture that's pretty cool about the future. Now I'm going to take it away. So 10 years from now, you didn't make a change. You're still over here. You paid $450,000 in rent. You don't have the additional money. You don't have equity. You don't have any kind of income to support your dream life. You didn't buy that vacation home. You're not going on taking your family on cruises around the world and doing all of these amazing things. It's 10 years from now and your life hasn't changed a bit. How does that feel?
Okay, guys, hold on a second. John hated EXP at Keller Williams because that's what they teach. Do you understand? Do you understand that that was 2 years ago? 2.5 years ago? This is what 2.5 years of practice, talent, and focus looks like.